Alex Hate that President, Chase Hooper, who returns to action on May 21st. Chase, how are you, man?
Good. Just focusing on the weight cut a little more right now, trying to diet down, get shredded for May 21st here. And yeah, doing pretty all right so far.
Awesome, man. Yeah, well, I guess let's just start there because I think one of your last Instagram posts you said that you're looking absolutely shredded this time around, and that you've been using the PI to kind of help you with your dieting. I guess what's changed and like kind of talk about, I mean, was it hard like before using the PI, like was it hard doing the weight cut?
Yeah, I mean, I think it still is. I cut a lot more weight than people would think. But before I'd just been doing kind of my own, whatever's worked for me in the past, which is just kind of not eating. So I've really been working with all the guys at the PI, and they've been sending me meals and stuff, keeping me on supplements, which I feel like is another big part, is just trying to make sure that while I'm depleting my body, I'm still like getting those nutrients in, and not just completely starving myself. Obviously the calories have to go down, but we got to keep the nutrients up. So I'm staying healthy. Just like as kind of a long-term thing. I don't want to destroy my body just trying to make the weight. That's the hardest part to begin with, is the weight cut. But just trying to make it as easy as possible. And yeah, it's great having the use of the guys, the PI, to help me get down there.
What weight do you cut, if I can ask?
Um, it's a decent bit, probably from like 180. Which is, it's kind of weird. I grew into the weight class, and then I grew out of the weight class a little bit. So it's a fair bit of dieting that I have to do to get down there. But yeah, like my contender fight, I think I cut from the low 50s. Like that's kind of where I was walking around at, and I cut water from there. So puberty's setting in, and it's a whole can of worms now. Hence the reason why I need some time between fights, while I'm not taking any short notice or anything. And yeah, is what it is.
I mean, do you see yourself moving up to lightweight sooner than later?
Yeah, probably with the way that the weight cuts are going, not wanting to again, like not wanting to destroy my body, just trying to make the weight when there's really no reason for it. Like back then I wasn't the proper size for 55, but now I think I'm getting up there. So we'll see how this one goes. Obviously I'm still able to perform really well, but it's just I'm cutting a lot of muscle that I don't need to. Um and I think if I moved up a division, I'd be able to be in better shape and healthier overall, and be able to train harder in the lead up to the fight.
Gotcha. So it's coming out. It's coming up on a year since your last fight again at UFC 263 against Steven Peterson. What did you take from that fight? And I guess what was the biggest lesson learned in that fight?
Sorry, dogs are trying to- yeah, sorry. I don't know. I feel like that fight bothers me so much, because I feel like I should have won that based on like my abilities. I should have whatever I was doing wrong that night, or whatever, pieces didn't line up. I feel like that's a guy that I should have been able to beat. Um and it is what it is, and I'm not making any excuses for it, like whether it was physical or mental or whatever. Like the pieces just weren't lining up, and it wasn't I wasn't fighting the way that I should have, or making the judgment calls in the moments, whatever it happened to be. um just getting that time off, and obviously this is the longest I've ever had between fights, so hopefully I'll come out a different fighter. I'm in a much better headspace. I've been training, trying to become a more well-rounded fighter overall, and to hopefully be able to not, I don't need to like outstrike any strikers. I don't need to out wrestle any wrestlers, but I just need enough of each of those things to make people uncomfortable, or be able to attack a specialist in one area with these other two areas that they're, maybe not as good in. So that's been the main focus, is becoming a more well-rounded fighter overall. And, just trying to be more confident in my abilities, and know that I, kind of deserve to be here, but I just need to, perform when the time comes.
And you kind of just said it, like you deserve to be in the UFC, and you put your time in there. But when your last loss, seconds after your loss, of course, all of the criticism came in, and all of the internet was like, criticizing you, man. And I guess, how do you respond to people saying that you're too young to be in the UFC?
I It doesn't really get to me anymore. Like, I've been seeing like shitty comments on the internet for, like I just had something for UFC where it's like I've been in there for like 3 years or so at this point. So like I definitely you adjust to that stuff. It's so weird. Like in our normal lives, like nobody is just gonna come up and like tell you that you're trash and like you should just give up and like, go die in a hole or something. But it's like, I don't know, with the internet and the anonymity of it, and just having like your face out there, people will just say whatever they want to say. And it's I feel like the biggest thing is, I had someone tell me recently that it's like you have to have the predator prey mindset, where like predators, like, say they have their eyes in the front of their head, which we do, where the prey animals have their eyes like more out to the sides, like they're watching everything around them because they're so worried. But the predators are just focused on like forward and like what's directly ahead of them. They're not worried about what's going to happen. They're just worried about what their task is, what they need to do. So it's trying to stay in that for myself, and not really take the criticism from anybody else. It's like I've taken these opportunities, and I've been doing remarkably well for my age. But it's, I don't want to just use my age as like, oh, this is an excuse for why I'm not winning fights. Like I don't see myself as like being like special or different from these other fighters because I'm younger. I want to still go out there and have people respect me for the fighter that I am, and just have the age thing be a secondary. Like, I don't want that to be like the main tagline necessarily, like I just want people to like, oh, this dude's a good fighter and he's young. So, hopefully I'll have a lot of time in the UFC here. But yeah, it's just really trying to get that stuff out of your head, because it's the only people whose opinions of my skill set truly matter are, Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard, Dana White. Those are the guys that are gonna, keep my bills paid, keep my food on the table. Those are the only people that I need to impress, really.
So, with all that being said, do you feel like you have a chip on your shoulder coming into this next fight?
I don't know. I feel like I've kind of always had that a little bit, but it's just, um, I'm not really trying to focus on like, the other stuff outside of it. I have this opponent, um, and trying to focus on the fact that he's got to fight me. He's got a taller order than I do, and whether that's true or not, I just need to believe that, and believe that I'm going to be the tougher fighter here. And that's kind of just the way that I'm trying to go into it, is, not trying to worry so much like I have in the past. And like, it's caused me to like hold back. I'm just going to go in there and, treat it as if it were, the last fight I ever had. So I can, perform to the fullest and make, I've made a lot of sacrifices this whole fight camp, and really, dedicated myself to it, and been like, all right, if this were to say be my last fight ever, I wouldn't want to leave it on like a weird note. I don't know, just having that mentality of, because of just how brutal the sport is, you never know. Like, one day you could be like, all right, well, I guess I don't get to fight anymore. So I wanted to, kind of take it to the fullest, which is why I'm using the PI, which is why I flew out to South Carolina twice to go train with Wonder Boy and all these guys, and getting all the work in. I'm just really trying to make the most of the opportunity that UFC's given me, and really show how how much potential I have as a fighter if I, I'm able to go out there and, perform the way that I do in the gym, which is, that's the biggest thing is translating that to fight night.
Gotcha. You are a married man since your last fight. Congratulations. And
Hey,
how
thanks.
is, how is it like being a married man?
Uh, Day-to-day life's not too different. She's been living with me since probably right after my contender fight. So it's been 3 or 4 years of us living together. So we've already gotten used to that. But definitely helps with the taxes. I was really surprised by that. I guess in this state you have to file married like as soon as you do it. And this is the first year I've ever got money back. So definitely a big plus on that end of things. But yeah, not bad overall.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk about it, man. Felipe Colares. First of all, I mean, you are 2 weeks out. How are you feeling? And then how do you like him as an opponent?
Yeah, I'm not feeling too bad. Just getting towards the later stages of the dieting slash weight cut type thing, which is always not very fun. But the weight's coming off, and I'm feeling faster. Cardio's coming up. Still hanging on to a decent bit of strength here. I was still training pretty hard last night. Where in my previous camps without the PI and stuff, I was dying this close to the fight. So the energy level's still pretty good. I'm still able to get the good hard work in with my guys, and yeah, feeling pretty good overall. Just looking forward to what, like 2 weeks from now exactly, when I can start eating and drinking again as much as I want and really just fill out for fight night. But I like Felipe as an opponent. It's a fun matchup because he's got a very similar style to myself. He's not a world-class striker or a world-class wrestler, but he's got really high-level jiu-jitsu, like myself, and it's going to be, obviously he's moving up a division. So I'm assuming he's not going to be some crazy, monster size-wise, but with that being said, I'm guessing he's going to have really good cardio. A lot of people that do move up in divisions, they definitely notice a bump in their cardio when they're not having to cut the weight. But I'm prepared for that. I'm prepared to go the full 15. He's never been finished. I've never been finished. But we've both got a decent number of finishes between us here. So I think it'll be a really good way to hopefully show my skill set off. And I think it's so hard to do jujitsu against a non-jujitsu guy, like someone like my last fight where they're trying to wrestle you, they're trying to stall you out. Where I feel like I can get some fun, scrambles, some fun grappling exchanges in the fight here with Felipe. But yeah, I'm feeling like it's going to be a good time. I'm really like genuinely looking forward to it more than I have in the past. A lot of times I've like dreaded fights. It's just like so much pressure on you, so much like what if scenarios. But this time I'm really trying to let go of all that and just just be confident in my abilities. And I think I'll be able to hopefully show off a much more well-rounded fighter in myself here, especially with the layoff. And then, if everything goes well, then, hopefully get some more fights in this year and, start moving my way up whichever division I end up in. So, yeah.
You both have not been finished. Do you think we're going to see a finish in this fight?
It's a definite possibility. I think I wouldn't say I'm too crazy worried about a lot of stuff on his end. Obviously, I just can't fall asleep at the wheel with the jujitsu side of things. A guy like that, who again is like myself, has a really strong jujitsu background. Even on autopilot, even if you're hurt, like they'll still throw something up. So you just kind of have to watch out for that at all times. But I'm feeling really good. I'm trying to fight more like brutally, I guess, like really trying to put the pressure on people, put the pace on them, and see if they crack or not. So yeah, I think a finish is a definite possibility. I always like it because you get to end the night early. But like I said, if not, I've been really trying to keep that cardio up so I can go that full 15 and keep that pace. And yeah, we'll see come the 21st.
Awesome. And finally, you're back at the Apex. I know that you like fighting in front of crowds. So, are you bummed that you're not fighting in front of a sold out crowd?
To an extent. However, the nice thing is with the fight nights, with the Apex shows, um, I think this will be my third Apex show, so like exactly what you're getting. You're like, all right, we're gonna stay at the fighter hotel that UFC essentially bought out. We're gonna have our own training room. We're gonna have our own sauna. It's really nice to have those little baseline things covered for fight week and not have to kind of stress about it of like, oh, where are we going to work out? How are we going to get the time to do it? Like I can literally just walk next door to this room that we have and they keep it at like 80 degrees. So you're able to get a good sweat in. And, the sauna is right there. I can literally just go back and forth between the sauna and my room. And it just takes a lot of the little like annoyances out of fight week. And then, the people with the PI and all that helping you with the diet, like they bring the food to your door, all that. Everything's super squared away. They run a really tight ship out there. Same thing warming up before the fights. You're like, oh, I have an area. It's all like, we're going to have enough mat to grapple. We're going to have enough, wall to do some cage stuff on. It's just a really nice show overall. And the nice thing on top of that too, is being a fight night. Hopefully it bodes well for finishes, for like bonuses and stuff from my end. I've been on these crazy cards with like Colby Covington Usman. That first fight was my debut. Volk Holloway, like Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, I think, Peter Yan and Uriah Faber, like all these crazy high level fights that I've been on the same card as. So there's really no hope in being a prelim guy getting any of the bonuses. So hopefully that will bode a little better. I might be a little high up on the card just based on maybe the name recognition. Who knows? I could care less, but it might bode a little better for the bonuses here. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping more.
Awesome. Chase, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. If you want to plug your social media, you want to plug any sponsors you got, you want to thank anybody, the floor is yours.
Let's see. I don't know. I don't really have much I'm trying to plug right now. I'm just just focused on the fight. So yeah, appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, and looking forward to May 21st. It's already May.